The growth and amazing success of women's hockey around the world continues to be cause for celebration. Our next two inductions honor two women who undeniably helped pave the road for this success story. When examining the careers of Hockey Hall of Fame inductees, so many were defined by a few outstanding trademarks that stood them apart. What defines our next inductee is that her remarkable career was built upon a total package of skill and attributes that led to success at every level she played. In what was a golden era for Canadian women's hockey and the women's game globally, her playmaking intelligence, nose for the net, and her leadership on and off the ice made her uniquely shine among her peers. And tonight, along with those peers who helped pioneer women's hockey, Jennifer Botterill takes her rightful place in the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Exceptionally talented, superb game sense, and highly skilled.
Botterill, nice move, cuts in, scores!
Those are just a few ways to describe four-time Olympian Jennifer Botterill. Born in Ottawa, raised in Winnipeg, Botterill attended Harvard University in Boston, where she played 4 bar-setting seasons with the Crimson. As a freshman, Botterill and Harvard won the AWCHA championship, and she was selected as a first-team All-Star. Botterill was a 4-time first-team All-ECAC and first-team All-American while at Harvard. She put up 340 points in her 113 career NCAA games, including a 47-goal, 112-point season. She is the only 2-time recipient of the Patty Kazmaier Award. Following Harvard, Botterill's ascension continued as she joined the Toronto Arrows of the NWHL for 2 years. In her first season, she scored 30 goals and had 61 points. And in the second, she helped the Arrows win the NWHL championship. Toronto would relocate to Mississauga, where Botterill would spend the next 3 years in the NWHL and CWHL.
Caroline Ouellette into the middle, Botterill shoots, scores!
Internationally, Botterill shone brightly among the stars, representing Canada at many international tournaments, including 4 Olympic Games, and was an essential piece of a team that won gold 3 times and won silver as well.
She is the most consistent and all-round player on Team Canada.
Botterill was also a defining part of Team Canada at 8 different World Hockey Championships, where she helped lead her team to 5 gold and 3 silver. In 2001, she led the Women's Worlds with 8 goals and was named the most valuable player. In 2004, she once again led the tournament with 11 points. At the conclusion of her international career, Botterill ranked 3rd all-time in Team Canada women's players with 184 games played, and 5th all-time with 174 points. Today, Botterill is a trusted voice in the game of hockey, bringing her experience and astute analysis to hockey viewers across North America. And now, Jennifer Botterill is being recognized for all of her impressive achievements with induction into the Hockey Hall of Fame in the player category.
To present the plaque to Jennifer Botterill, her former teammate and captain, one of the faces of women's hockey from the class of 2018, Jayna Hefford.
Thank you. Congratulations to the entire class of 2025. I admire each and every one of you. I will always remember at the end of our Olympic gold medal games, we would stand in a line as a team as we awaited the presentation of the medals. And I always remember that we could look up and we could look down that line and you could see your friends and your teammates that were getting those Olympic gold medals placed around their necks. And that moment was the best because you knew each person standing there had helped the person next to them and the person next to them. And that moment was achieved together. I feel very much the same as I stand here this evening. With my family, my friends, my coaches, and my teammates. This is a moment that we all share. Mom, you showed me that this was possible. You showed me that I could dream big at a young age. We'd go to Grandma's house when we were young, and there were pictures of you up in the wall when you represented Canada for the sport of speed skating. And I could imagine you at the Olympic Games representing the country. Mom, you were a constant inspiration for me, and you continue to inspire me today because of the person that you are. Thank you for your unconditional support, for all of those laugh, cry moments that we shared, for all of the important, significant moments in our lives. Dad, the impact that you've had on me is tremendous. Thank you for helping me to trust that I could pursue excellence. If you can imagine having lunch with your dad at the age of 15 years old, and he looks at you across the table and he asks you what your ultimate dream is, and you tell him that you would love to play hockey for Team Canada one day at the Olympics, but you tell him you're not sure if it's possible. So he looks at you across the table that day and he says, why not you? If someone else can be there, why can't it be you? And just like that, your perspective shifts and changes completely. So years later, I was waiting patiently for a meeting with the coaching staff for the first ever women's Olympic hockey team for Canada. And in front of me, there were two huge doors, and there was a sign that says boardroom. And finally, it was my turn to go in, and I was about to find out if I would be an Olympic athlete or not. So I took a deep breath, and I opened these two huge boardroom doors. I wasn't there yet because there was another set of huge boardroom doors. So when I took a few more steps forward and I opened the second set of doors, and the coaching staff was there, and they held out their hands and they said, "Congratulations." And the very first thing I thought about at that moment, when I was told I would represent Canada on the international stage, I thought about my parents. I thought about my mom, how you showed me that it was achievable. And I thought about my dad and that one lunch and that one conversation at the age of 15, and he suggested, why not you? I was fortunate to grow up in an environment that was full of encouragement. And Jason, you showed me what motivation was like. Thank you for not making me be the goaltender every single time we played hockey, even though I was the younger sibling. I loved our shinny games. I loved walking with you to the end of the street to the Wildwood Community Center, and we could shoot pucks together. We played basement hockey together. And Jason, your drive to be an elite hockey player was contagious. Seeing your choices motivated me to try to achieve the highest level as well. When my playing career was over, someone asked me, they said, "Jen, what was your favorite career goal that you scored?" And Jason, I thought of you and I responded, because you always did what you could to elevate your teammates. And when I answered the question, I said, my favorite career play wasn't a goal, but it was an assist. And it was a pass that I made in the Vancouver 2010 Olympics in the gold medal game to Marie-Philippe Poulin. And it ended up being the gold medal winning goal. And so for me, in that moment, I wanted to be the best teammate and make the best decision that I could to set my teammate up for success. So thank you, Jason, for showing me how to be a great teammate. Thank you, Marie-Philippe Poulin, for the unbelievable shot, the gold medal winning goal, and so many incredible performances. I'm grateful for each and every one of my coaches in Winnipeg, in Calgary, at Harvard, in Toronto, and with Team Canada. You all helped me find my full potential. At the Canada Games, at the age of 15, my coach was Cliff Wertak. And we had a motto for the season, and the motto was to have no regrets, to never have to say, I wish I would have. And I've carried that great life lesson with me ever since. While I played a lot of sports growing up, my parents said they always knew that the sport of hockey was something special, because they said every time I was on the ice playing, they said they could see my smile through the cage. And I carried that very same smile throughout my entire career. Thank you to Jill Mattheys, my first hockey coach in the city of Winnipeg, and we played for the Waverly Storm. Danielle, I'm so honored to be inducted alongside you. You were always incredibly supportive throughout my career, and you had the vision for greatness that carried our team to our first Olympic gold medal. Congratulations. To my friends and my teammates, thank you. You're why I loved playing the game. To Andrea, Aaron, Rochelle, Kara, Kim, and Tanis, we have been friends since childhood. And we played in our first away tournament together, we'd walk to school together, and you were the ones that I couldn't share the news with when I made my first Olympic team, and we shared those tears of elation together. Months later, I remember calling my parents from Harvard Square after my first official visit to the school and telling them that I think I could be very happy here. And I remember all of my teammates at Harvard University making certain of that. Those were very important years for my development as a player and as a person. To all of my Toronto teammates, those seasons were so special, and I still cherish them. To all of my Team Canada teammates and line mates, Hef, Caro, Tess, Crib, Delaney, Megs, Piper, Poundy, Keller, Wick, Tammy, Kelly, Gina, Pooh, Vicky, Apsy, Sarah, Mick, Sauce, so many of you. I am forever grateful what we accomplished as a team. France, Goyeri, Jer, and Cass, you are the best mentors that anyone could ever ask for. Merci and thank you. Sammy, your energy is infectious. And on those exhausting days where I was tired, you always had an emergency snack to make sure that I would stay composed. And years later, you stood by me as my maid of honor at my wedding. There, in every way, you always were the best friend. Thank you for all of the laughter and for your friendship. I smile at the landscape of women's professional hockey today because it's what we all wished and hoped for. For my daughters and all girls, the league is such a powerful example of women and girls living out their dreams. And you can see it's possible to live out those dreams, whatever they might be. After my last Olympics, Mom had told me a little story that her and her 6-year-old daughter had watched our gold medal game on television. And she said they stood up in their living room and they sang the Canadian anthem with us and they had tears in their eyes. And she continued on with her story, and she said the day after they watched the gold medal game, they went to an outdoor rink, and this was in Winnipeg. And she said as soon as her 6-year-old daughter put on all of her hockey gear and she tied up her skates, and the day after watching the gold medal game, this 6-year-old girl went on the outdoor rink, and as soon as she got on the ice, she just started throwing her gloves and her stick up in the air repeatedly. And her mom was laughing, and her mom asked her daughter, she said, "What are you doing?" 6-year-old girl turned, and she looked up at her mom, and she says, "Mom, I'm just practicing." She said, "I'm just practicing my celebration," is what she told her mom that day. This sport has the potential to inspire. Maya, Brooklyn, and Willow, you are the ultimate joy in my life. Thank you for your love and for making me smile every single day. I admire your dedication and your energy. I love seeing you play and experiencing the joys of sport. I encourage you to do everything I encourage you to enjoy everything that you do and to find the dreams that fill your hearts with the most excitement. To Adrian, my soulmate, you've shown me what true happiness is, beyond my dreams. My moments of appreciation for you are continuous. You make my heart full, and thank you for this happy life together. I love you. After the Olympics in Vancouver, not long after we received our gold medals, we noticed as we were standing on the ice that each of those medals was unique. Each medal was different. The 2010 medals were designed by an Indigenous artist, and every one had their own unique pattern of artwork. But if you put all of the medals together, they fit to complete the entire design. They were all such important pieces. That's how I see each of you, my family, my friends, my coaches, and my teammates. I know the importance of all of you, and I have been so fortunate to be surrounded by you. I am filled with gratitude. This is a tremendous honor that we all share together. Thank you.